I'm Miss Watson, and I want to tell you a little bit about what the library has to offer you for this fall now that we're virtual. A little bit about who I am, since I haven't had the opportunity to meet most of you. I'm Miss Watson. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm your library media technology specialist. I deal with books in the library, obviously, because I'm the librarian. But not just paper books, ebooks, audiobooks, graphic novels, fiction, nonfiction, magazines, anything with words, basically. I am in charge of, sort of, for your checkout pleasure. I can also help with information. I love learning new things, so if you have a personal project that you're working on and need help finding information on how to deal with that, let me know and I can help you. And then thirdly, I also help with technology. So if you're having issues with your Chromebook or your internet or your email, send me an email. My contact information will be at the end of this presentation and I can help you with that. A little more about me. I have 2 dogs. The one in the top right is Chuck, and then Barbara is the new one. We just got her last week. And like I said in the last slide, I love learning new things. So here is a picture of me rock climbing. I'm a rock climbing instructor during the summer and during the nice months on the weekends. And then at the bottom is a hand pan, and that's a skill that I learned this year. I am currently working with a woman in Madison to make these musical instruments. They sound really pretty. So what does your library have to offer you? We have 4 things we're going to talk about today. First Chapter Friday, Battle of the Books, and then technology help. Some of you may have heard about First Chapter Friday. First Chapter Friday is a Zoom meeting that I'm going to be holding every Friday from now until forever, I guess, until we come back in person. It's going to be during your lunchtime on Friday, so starting around 11:45 to 12:45. You fill out the form in the link here, and I'll send you the Zoom link so you can come to the Zoom link. And when you come in, I will read the first chapter of a book that I have heard about or thought sounded good, maybe something that you've recommended for me. And then we'll spend the rest of the time either talking about that book, maybe we want to read more, maybe we want to talk about like the stuff that we've been reading lately. So casual book club / hearing the first chapter of a new book every week. So send me an email if you want to join or fill out this form. Battle of the Books. I don't know if many of you have participated in Battle of the Books before. This is my first year, and I'm excited to say that we are going to have Battle of the Books, even though we are virtual. You can participate. Anybody can participate, no matter what grade you're in, and you'll be participating this year as an individual instead of as a group. Normally it's like a group thing. What you have to do, you will read 4 books if you're 6th or 7th grade, and 5 books if you're an 8th grader. And then at the end of the time period, we haven't set the date yet, but at the end of the time period, you'll take a test on your own. If you get an 85 or 80% or above, you'll get a prize, which is pretty cool. So instead of competing against other groups, you're kind of competing against yourself for your knowledge of the books. When's it going to happen? Sometime this spring, but you can start reading now, and that's why I wanted to announce this. In the next little bit of information, I'll talk to you about how you can get those books. But here are the books for each of the grades. 6th grade, the books are Lily and Duncan, The Epic Fail of Arturo Zamora, Jacqueline Woodson's Hush, and then Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, which I love. 7th grade book choices are Far, Far Away, which is sci-fi, Parker Inheritance, which is kind of historical fiction, sort of mystery kind of book, really excellent, Listen Slowly, and then Miles Morales. And then 8th grade, we have Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, which is a murder mystery. I'll Give You the Sun. Scythe is dystopian, which is one of my favorite genres. Darius the Great is Not Okay, and then another Jacqueline Woodson called If You Come Slowly. Softly, I mean, If You Come Softly. If you're interested in Battle of the Books, I'd like you to fill out the form on this sheet here so that I can have your information to contact you when we get future dates and make sure that I keep you in the loop. What do? You start reading. So start reading any of the books for your grade level. Of course, you can read books from the other grade levels too, but your test will only be for your grade level. And then make sure you check the announcements and listen for information as we get closer to the spring. My favorite part, books. There's 3 main ways that you can get books right now for yourself to read. 1, to get physical books. We are starting this week with book checkout. And book checkout at Whitehorse Middle School, we'll talk about how that looks. The second way is from Sora, which is where you can get ebooks and audiobooks. And the third way is through the public library. Book checkout, very cool. we finally got the go-ahead to allow us to do book checkout of physical books. So if you want to hold a real book in your hand, all you have to do is go to the website. You place a hold on the book. On every other Friday, you'll come to Whitehorse Middle School. I have checked the book out for you, so you don't have to come into the building. You just come to the end of the 6th grade building. I'll be down there. I'll ask you what your name is, and I'll hand you the books. I'll have them all ready for you. So this is a pretty cool opportunity. We have lots of new books that came in at the beginning of the year from Miss Battenberg, and I definitely want them to get read. So make sure you check out the website so that the website has tutorials for you if you don't remember how to place a book on hold. So place a book on hold, then you come to school on a Friday and pick it up. The second way that you can get books is by using Sora. Hopefully you're all familiar with Sora. It's a fantastic resource. I am addicted to listening to ebooks. I was a struggling reader. I really hated reading a lot when I was in 8th grade and 7th grade and 6th grade and 5th grade and all the grades. But it wasn't until I started reading books that really interested me that I kind of fell in love with reading, because there's a lot of really good stories out there. And when I only had to read stuff that my teachers forced me to read, I wasn't into it. And Sora lets me pick and choose. And if I start reading a book and decide I hate it, I can just forget about it and then it's over. I don't have to keep reading it. One really great book that's available on Sora, it's brand new. It's called Punching the Air. It's a story about a young boy who gets falsely accused of a crime that he did not commit, and he has to go to juvenile detention for it. The writer E.B. Zaboy has written a lot of really great books, but she co-wrote this one with Yusuf Salam, who actually was falsely accused of committing a crime that he did not commit in New York. And there's a Netflix documentary about it pretty recently. So she has a lot of firsthand experience with Yusuf Salam writing this book. It's really powerful, really beautifully written, so I highly recommend that one. So try and sign in to Sora. The way you get there is through ClassLink, and then you go to the pink box that says Library Resources. That's where you can sign into ClassLink or to Destiny. Fall at Destiny is where you put physical books on hold. If you don't see what you want in Sora, let me know. There's a form on this slide here so that you can fill that out and let me know if there's something you really want. And I want to buy it for you because it's important to me that we have books that you want to read. Then lastly, we have the public library. The good news is the Madison Public Libraries are all now fine free. So if you, like me, have a couple dollars in book fines, they're not charging you, which is great. If you don't have a library card, you can get one by applying through this link, and they do have some resources. So be sure you check the website for the library you want to visit before you go visit it. The rules are different at all the different branches, but they do have a lot of services available for you. And then lastly, tech help. I hope none of you get to the point where you're throwing your computer. Please contact me before you get to that point. My email is up here on the slide, and the phone number that's there, the top phone number in bold, is my work phone number. I can receive texts, so if it's easier for you to text your question to me, I can get that on my computer at work, or you can do a phone call or an email. So please let me know if you have any troubles. And I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.